What's that noise? What was that noise? No, not him. Is it one of the cats like hitting something? You didn't hear it? Did you see the episode? Uh huh. They have to do a recount, right? It goes down to one last vote, right? You think Brittany voted her bestie out? I did. It cuts out to the end, so you don't know what she does. I think she was more surprised that Dolores just didn't change her vote. Doesn't mean like, what does that have to do with? What does that have to do with Brittany? Is that ketchup? Is that ketchup? No, I was just asking. Is it? Chat. When you eat meatloaf, does ketchup go on it? Don't ask if ketchup goes on it. Ask what do you trying to load the questions out. I know you. So Josh the other day he had called me, and I don't know if I told you. Anyway, so Josh called me the other day, and he was asking me like, I don't know if I told you. But he was like asking me about like, so you have a lawyer, and like, I was like, yeah, what's going on? He goes, basically, I'm concerned because I want to move back to New Braunfels, but we have Nicole's kid, and he's gonna be a freshman. We want him to go back to New Braunfels so he can go to MBISD instead of over here because he'll be going to school at Judson. Is that how you really feel? Is it the ghetto? Okay. So I haven't been to school myself. Like I don't know what its reputation is. I don't know if it's that's the reputation for Judson. When you think Judson, you think black and ghetto Mexicans, thugs.
discussion about the areas and the school districts. Why? Is it because there's a lot of black people there? All right, thank you. You didn't deny it. You didn't deny it. All right. That was my brother.
I know who it was.
That is, no, what I'm saying is that I'm saying that as someone that grew up in San Antonio, graduated in 2012. Again, another person that graduated in San Antonio graduated a decade after me.
So anyway, he was like, I kind of don't want him going to Judson. I was like, why is that the case? He kind of told me that he's concerned that like he doesn't want the kid's already like kind of like antisocial, so like he doesn't want like to be him to be picked on or like to have to deal with like any bullshit. I was like, well, I mean, yeah, New Braunfels would probably be a better school district than Judson, but I can't tell you for sure. And like even like that, like okay. And he's like, well, the other issue is that I have to get Nicole's son's dad to give me permission to like move him from county because like I can't he can't live anywhere else because the decree. And I was like, I totally understand. Like I have one in place for the same reason. He can't go anywhere like unless we both come to a conclusion for it. But like that's how it is. He's like, I don't understand because like it's the county over. I was like, Josh, it's not the proximity or anything like that. It's quite literally like that county. It's not like, oh, it's only one county. One county, 10 counties, 10 minutes, 10 hours, 10 states.
I mean,
Does not matter.
they may say that, but like that he does need to like let them know. I don't know. I see that point, and then I have like a client who her now like her husband has twin boys that when this all started were like 4 years old, and like randomly like this chick was like, I'm gonna take them and we're gonna go live in Montana.
Yeah, you
Like,
told me.
no, 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 and like she still just did. And then like now the judge like after the fact is kind of just like, okay, we're dealing with it. Like, okay, so you're gonna get them for a longer Christmas break. You're gonna get them longer time in the summer, but like he told them no that they couldn't. But like the judge should tell her that she had to move back. So like I want to say don't ask, don't tell. I mean, is the father involved?
Kind of. So anyway, um, he's like, well, that's the issue. It's like, I can't take this kid over there, like, because of the county thing. I was like, I totally get it. I have the same thing in place, but like, it's not the proximity. It's the fact that it says this county, it means this county. Like, it's there for a reason. So he's like, well, I don't know if I need to go like through the legal route. I was like, you can try to like appeal to the dad and like just see like, is this like an ego thing? Like you got to check your ego and your like emotions at the door and just try to like see like what can we do to like I'm trying to better this kid's like education and like his quality of life and like hopefully you understand where I'm coming from. I'm not trying to like
I mean, when
take him
county
away from
offers,
you.
yeah, it's not that far.
Yeah, but anyway, so he's having this conversation, and he's like wondering, like, is Canyon better? Is like NBSISD? He's like, I think they're all better than Judson. I was like, listen, at the end of the day, yes, like if it works out, great, but if it doesn't, like, like we have to like do what's best for our kids, and sometimes like as much as we want to shelter them and protect them, like sometimes it takes like them learning the hard way, like or you just gotta like sometimes just you know let them be exposed to shit like it's like I don't know he's like he says like that there's fights at the school like every day and all this stuff. I was like, well, something good will happen from it. Like I mean,
But when I've been like kind of like I've been again as I just told you I've been like researching back and forth and stuff like that and like a big problem in New Braunfels and Canyon High School or whatever from what I've read on Facebook from what I've read on Reddit like it's like the bullying here.
From the thugs?
No, here in New Braunfels.
No, but from the thugs, like who's bullying who?
I
The
mean,
thugs are the
there's
like
schools
the
to
fucking rich
there's
people
schools
like
to
picking
bully.
on the other people.
There's
The
schools to
popular
bully.
kids.
I mean, no one goes into specifics. I mean, they go into a specific detail, but they weren't like this was a black kid that was from the east
Bullying was
side.
a thing when I was in school. I'm sure it was a thing when you were in school. I'm sure it's a thing like now, and I'm sure it's gonna be a thing. But at the end of the day, you can't stop kids from bullying your kid. What you can control though is how your child reacts to it. So at the end of the day, like he needs to like again like teach him like how to like mind his own business, keep his fucking head like on straight, and avoid trouble. And sometimes that's not going to be the case. Sometimes you can avoid trouble as much as you want, and sometimes trouble finds you. And if it finds you, well then, brother, like we told Noah the same thing. We don't want him like going around starting fights and shit. But if a motherfucker gets in your face, or if a motherfucker wants to try you, like guess what, bro? You're not gonna get in trouble for
Why are
fucking
you
someone
yelling?
up, or
Why are
or
you yelling?
or getting in a fight for like protecting yourself. What do I look like being like, oh no, like you gotta let that motherfucker beat you up? Fuck no.
Did you ever get in fights in school?
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm just asking if you did. Like if you ever
Yeah, and
because they were bullying you,
mm,
or because you just wanted to puff your chest out.
a little bit of both.
Did you get in trouble?
Yes,
Oh, I didn't know if you got like caught or it was meet me at that what's the hill?
Rayburn Hill.
Yeah.
That was the thing, you know. It was just a thing. I mean, I tried to mind my own business. I didn't want to like, I wasn't picking on anybody. I wasn't fucking anybody. But if like someone's fucking with you, like at one point or another, dude, what are you supposed to do? Like, I'm not Jesus Christ walking the earth here. I don't just turn my cheek. Be like, yo, you can fuck me up all you want, bro. I don't want that from my son either. I'm not encouraging him to, hey, go whoop a motherfucker's ass. But if someone's fucking with you, dude, you need to like. I don't want to fucking go to the emergency room and be like, oh no, he got his ass whooped because he told him he couldn't protect himself. Fuck that. So, oh, I mean, that's what I was telling him. I was like, you know what? Maybe it's in his best interest to like go and like sign up for like boxing lessons or like mixed martial arts. Maybe that'll give him confidence. Maybe he'll fucking, put on some muscle mass or like, grow out of his shell and, like having like that confidence of learning how to defend yourself. Like they don't teach you like, hey, this is how we're gonna fucking go whoop a motherfucker's ass. They're telling you like you avoid conflict at all costs. But if a motherfucker wants to try you, like this is what these tools are here for, so that you know how to defend yourself. Maybe that'll serve him well. Who knows?
So what did
But
he end up doing?
so I told him I was like, I'm sure something will happen. We'll figure it out, whatever. So after practice yesterday, we're all finishing up, and I'm helping Brandon with the goals because he's got a bunch of shit, and he fucked his knee up on Sunday. Like, like 3 minutes left in the game, some motherfucker comes in and cleats his knee and just fucks him up. So on Tuesday, he wasn't practicing. He was just like there. I was like, "What happened to you?" And he's like, "Last 3 minutes." I was like, "Bro, my best friend Pony, same shit. Like last play of the game, fucks his knee up. Even to this day, right now, like he's not playing. And he's just like, dude, almost made it. And like someone else had said the same shit. Like, yeah, I fucked my shit up on the last play. Like everyone's fucked up, and that's usually how it happens. Like right at the end, you get fucked up. Like it's the worst. You could have dodged a bullet, but you didn't. They're both laying down. Oh, they were. Yeah, she's looking at herself. But he almost made it out. So fine, whatever. So Brandon has like all this shit. Like he's got the goals. He's got like the fucking bibs. He's got like his soccer bag. He's got his chair. He's got all this shit, and he's walking it back. And I was like, dude, let me help you out with something. So he's like, you could just take these goals. I was like, all right, cool. So I get the goals, and I'm walking back to his truck with him. And I don't know how it came up, but he said something about like, oh, I don't give a shit.
I'm talking about Milo.
Okay, I know that.
Okay, I'm still listening.
You're not. You're fucking looking at your phone, reading the group chat, talking about barbecue sauce. I'm trying to tell you a fucking story.
Keep going. I'm listening to what
So
you're
we're walking to the truck. Oh, I remember what happened now. So we're walking to the truck, and like a couple of guys are watching this fucking video of these chicks fighting on the fucking soccer field, and and like I knew exactly which video they were talking about. I didn't see it, but they were like, "Dude, watch this." So then when she comes over here and pulls on her fucking hair, she fucking brings her down. I was like, I know exactly
feel
which
like
fucking.
you've shown me this video
It's
before.
fucking wild. This fucking bitch just gets her fucking hair, pulls her fucking down in the middle of a fucking game. So fine, whatever. I was like telling Brandon, I was like, "Have you seen that video?" He's like, "No, what are they watching?" I was like, and I told him, I was like, "These chicks are on the fucking field, and like one of them gets like fucked with, and then one grabs her fucking hair and pulls it down, and he goes, oh yeah, dude, chicks are the fucking worst ones. They fucking go in." I was like, "Yeah, I know." And then he said something about like, like, "Oh, my girl at Judson." I was like, "Your girl goes to Judson or went to Judson?" He goes, "Yeah." And I go, "Bro, let me ask you a question." Biggest mistake of my fucking life asking him this question. And I go, what do you think of Judson? Like, what's it like? Would you say
This
it's?
old guy, Brandon?
Hmm.
Okay.
I go, what do you think of Judson? Is this like a bad school? He goes, no, like it's you know, like are there bad people there? Yeah, but he's like that's like
Bad people
every.
everywhere.
He's like that's every school though. Like like my girl didn't have any problems. Like she minded her business. She did have a couple of issues, but that was more for like the middle school. And he started telling me about his girl and how she was getting bullied and all this shit and how she fucking stood up to her bully. And then like one time in high school, this fucking guy, like I guess she rejected him and he fucking got her and slapped her and he was like almost fucking went to jail because I was gonna murder that motherfucker. And I was like, I
Have
can't
they been
even
together that long?
what?
Like he went to Judson too, or
No, he's talking about his daughters.
oh his daughters? I thought you said his wife.
No,
So his girls.
his girl. Yeah. So he's talking about how his daughter, like, got into some shit, like, but he's like, but honestly, like, I wouldn't say like it's a bad school, like, and I told him I was like, I got a friend, he's wondering about his kid, and he got these options, and yada yada. He's like, honestly, like, I wouldn't say that. Like, there's other schools he can go to. I wouldn't say that Roosevelt's any better, or like, like
Roosevelt's more. They're the same.
so he was like talking about like other charter schools like that he can go to, and he's like, and do like Judson and like these other schools that are in the immediate area, like they have programs where like kids come from like other schools to go there, like for the
For management
business,
school, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and like all this other shit. He's like, so like
There
you
are those kids in that school. Like that's not what I'm saying. Like predominantly.
But that's what he was saying. It's like there's a mix of everyone, and
No, I
is there going to be a
understand.
bad element? Yes, but he's like that's the case everywhere. Everywhere's going to have shit like that. I was like, I know. Like at one point or another, you just gotta have to teach him like how to fucking like,
Handle himself in
yeah,
that situation. Do you have any tosses?
no.
Oh, I didn't know
What
if you.
the fuck is your
I didn't know if
problem?
you liked it.
I'm eating it, aren't I?
Well, you stopped. That's what I'm saying. I didn't know if you just
Have you
tasted
ever
it.
seen me sit down and eat a fucking full plate just in one sitting?
I just wanted to make
Ever.
sure you liked it. If you didn't like it, I was gonna take it because you're like,
If I didn't like it, I wouldn't eat it.
well, you're not eating it.
I've eaten some.
Okay.
If I wouldn't
I
like
think it's enough you don't like it. What's up, man? What do you want to tell me?
Resident Evil, the real Resident Evil's here in my fucking house. Unfucking believable.
So what are they doing for his stepson?
Well, I hadn't talked to him, but after I stayed behind and talked to fucking Brandon till like 10 o'clock, I
Going
fucking
on about Judson?
it was like I said, biggest mistake of my life. We just like went in my car, opened the door, put all my stuff away. 10 minutes later, went and started my car. Like it just like he would not
And then you saw him
stop
talking.
talking. We just talking about like his situation with his children and like you know
And then you
like
shot him right after that.
why they were getting bullied because he spoils them and like I came from nothing and like you damn right I'm gonna spoil
Sometimes
them.
if people are mean to you, it has nothing to do with you. Right? Sometimes they got other stuff going on, but you don't let that affect you, right? And you just let them know, I don't want to be treated
No,
like
I
that.
run away.
Well, you can tell them, I don't want to be treated. You tell them that's not nice. I don't want to be treated like that.
I don't tell them that. I just tell on them and just run away.
Yes.
And then just go play with someone else. That's good. And you don't let that make you
But
sad,
but
right?
but when other people are nice to me, I literally play with them a lot.
That's great.
When they're not being
When
nice,
you get older, I'll teach you how to defend yourself.
There will be no need.
There's gonna be a need.
what does need mean?
You remember how the players were fighting in the hockey game?
Yeah,
I'm gonna teach you how to do that.
you fight in several games.
No, you fight in real life. The people that are asking for it.
But if you can work it out and just
Like
talk.
if you swim.
Sometimes words don't.
But after taste.
Sometimes people don't want to listen to words, Ezra. So you gotta make them eat knuckle sandwiches.
But mom, after taste something.
What's it?
But what is that? What if someone calling for help and that person's beating them up because?
Then you can you go and stop the fight if someone's asking for help?
No, I'll just punch the person and beat him my foot up back.
That's right.
I'll just do that.
Yeah, click them.
But if it's a fight at school, maybe you go find a teacher and then you can break it up.
Yeah, I will.
That's why you gotta have friends, so y'all can click up and start a gang.
No. No.
What does gang mean?
No, that's bad. Do not.
Being gang related could be good.
No, it's not.
It can be.
Do not. Do not. Look at him smiling. Look at he's lying and he's trying to be silly.
I'm really not.
You understand?
Are you sure you're lying?
Yes, I'm sure he's lying.
You think Batman, Superman, Cyborg, Iceman, you think they're a gang? They're a gang of good guys, and they go around beating the shit out of bad guys. No one ever says they shouldn't be a gang.
Okay, go to bed and close your door because he's going to be yelling for the next 2 hours. Look how loud he's going to be.
First of all, I called you yesterday.
Did you? I didn't get your call.
You got my call. You got my call. Because you had just called me and I was at soccer practice and it was finishing. And then after soccer practice, I got in a goddamn conversation with one of my fucking soccer players. He's like a peer of mine. And I was just talking to Alex about this shit. But long story short, soccer practice was over. I was helping him out with his soccer gear and we were walking back to his truck. And the conversation
Where is this?
at McAllister Park in San Antonio.
Oh, you're going to McAllister?
Yeah, that's where my team practices.
Okay, all right.
So we're walking back to his truck, and it just so happens that he mentions his daughter and how she goes to Judson. And I was like,
shit.
I go, no shit. I go, your daughter goes to Judson? He goes, yeah. And I go, dude, let me ask you a question. How do you feel about the school? He goes, I mean, it's fine. And I was like, the reason I asked is because I have a friend of mine. I tell him like what's going on, and he's like, and, I tell him I was like, he's just kind of concerned about his son going to the district, like you're to the school. Like, how do you feel about that? He goes, look, I'll be really honest with you. Like, yes, there's like an element to it, but like I don't think the kid will have a problem there. Like, if he minds his business, like I don't think he's gonna have an issue with anybody. Now, yes, again, there's a stigma to it, or you have an impression about the school, but you know what? Like, he's like, are there like bad people there? Yes. But that's the case with any school. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty much what I was telling them, and I was also telling them that it could be good night. But I was telling them like, that's the case anywhere you're gonna go. You're gonna have your good element, you're gonna have your bad element, and shit like that. But he was actually telling me that if you're not if you're not thrilled about him going to Judson, there are other charter schools that are in the area that that he can go to. And then there's also like, other schools that have like, for example, like I think Judson has like a business school, like where other kids from other schools come to, or you can take your kid to Judson and he can bus himself from there to another school that does like, you know, engineering and technology and fucking like English and like,
There's a really good school of science and technology out in I think it's Cibolo or Shirts, and it's like they do all robotic shit, but it's out in Barrett County, so I don't know if I can go there.
Right. So I mean, what? And here's the thing, bro. And I was just telling Alex this. I was so fucking pissed because we got done with practice like at 9:30, and I was literally talking to this motherfucker for like 45 fucking minutes. Just like I was hoping he was gonna answer like my question. I mean, we just started really going in depth about all the schools and stuff like that. And like I said, he's a peer of mine, so I'm not trying to be dismissive of like what he's saying to me, and he's going out of his way to really like, tell me like his 2 cents and shit like that. So I wasn't gonna be like, yeah, 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 I get it. Okay, shut up. Like I gotta go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I sat there because of you for 45 fucking minutes after practice fucking about the ins and outs of all the fucking scholastics of the San Antonio school district and shit like that, bro. I was
so funny.
I was so fucking pissed, Josh. And
I didn't even answer.
what made it worse is I told him, I go, this guy called me. We were finishing up practice. He even called me while I was talking to him. I was like, that's him, dude. I'm gonna call him right, or I'm gonna call him back after we're done. After we're done, it's like 10:15. I'm getting in my fucking truck. I literally call you. You don't fucking answer. And I was like, this piece of fucking shit. And then
I didn't see it.
and then I get in my fucking truck and I'm driving and I get on 35 and lo and behold, fucking lane closures. This shit
Oh, dude, that's
is
what I was in.
this shit was backed up, bro. I'm not even joking. I think it was like 11, 11, 10, 11:15, and I'm sitting there in 0 mile an hour traffic, and I was like, Alex had made dinner, and I sent her a picture,
No.
and I was like, bro, I am like, first of all, I left late. Second of all, I'm in the fucking shitstorm of shitstorms when it comes to traffic, and then
Oh yeah.
it's because they're building those fucking that highway overpass. They had
Oh,
all
the highway is.
yeah, they had
They're
all of
gonna be
those
driving in the sky.
yeah, they had all of those they had all of those cement I beams like lined up on the side of the road so that the cranes could get them from where they're
Oh yeah.
building the shit and like hike them up there.
I think Zelensky's running that.
Yeah, yeah,
He's the foreman.
yeah. So 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 um so they had that shit going on, and I swear to God, I don't think I got home till like 11:38, and I
Yeah.
opened today, and I was like, dude, I got home, I was tired, I've been on the road, I fucking had to listen to this motherfucker tell me about this school district. I called you, you didn't even fucking answer. I had to eat fucking dinner. Alex was a fucking sleep on the couch. I was like, dude, fuck my life, right? I'm the fucking bad guy over here.
Dude,
Fucking
I'm the bad guy.
bullshit,
And I'm
bro.
the bad guy.
Yeah, dude. And I don't think it was Zelensky. I think it was Balboni. Balboni's a fucking yeah. Balboni's a foreman there.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Bro, they're driving in the sky now, dude.
Johnny
Freaking
Hamcheck,
nuts.
bro.
Johnny. We call him T-Bone.
Yeah, dude. I know a couple T-bones. That's for damn sure.
Rufus.
What are you?
Rufus T-Bone.
Yeah, what are you doing, dude?
I'm at HEB. I just got myself some low carb tortillas.
I know
I
you.
got some
I know you have
burgers.
a little fucking a little basket, bro. I know you didn't get a cart.
Oh, no, no, I was carrying. I had my phone in my ear. I look a fucking psychopath.
Oh yeah, definitely. Everyone's looking at you like, look at this guy. He's never heard of a Bluetooth.
I was balancing. Yeah, I never heard of Bluetooth.
Dude, he doesn't know that cell phones can fucking operate without having them up to his ear anymore.
Oh my god,
Guy's
bro.
living in 1999.
I'm living old school. I'm living my life, brother.
Good God,
I'm not.
man.
I've been doing that for a long time.
Dark
But yeah.
jeans, black shoes, white socks.
Oh, bro. No, I'm wearing black socks now with brown belt.
Oh my God, bro. See, that kind of shit will get your ass whooped at Judson.
Oh yeah. No, we don't want it. We don't want anything to happen there for
Yeah.
sure.
No, and like I said, man, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what I was telling my friend. I was like, listen, I understand, like, he's got a couple of options in front of him. He can try to move for, like, see if the kid will, like, if the kid's father will cooperate and let him come to New Braunfels. If he can't, well, then obviously he's going to fucking, do what he can when it comes to the actual school. And then there's also the element of, like, well, you know what? Like I told him, I was like, I mean, we all want what's best for our kids, bro. And at the end of the day, like, try to keep them out of trouble, but sometimes trouble finds you, and I think that's what he's more worried about. I don't think he's worried about his kid
Yeah.
going out looking for trouble. I think he's worried about trouble finding his kid, and if that happens, I mean, you teach him
I
to
think
mind his
it's a
business.
higher probability in Judson. I'll tell you that much.
I think so. I think so, but it's not non-existent at any other school district. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
absolutely,
Like
absolutely.
whether it's like Latinos and African Americans like picking on him, or you send him to another school and now he's like being picked on by like all the rich white kids or all the popular kids. Like it's gonna rear its head, dude, one way or the other. At the end of the day, you have to
It's about
fucking
his
show him
attitude.
like how to control himself and how to handle himself. And again, heaven forbid trouble comes finding him. Like, it wouldn't be the worst thing for him to learn how to defend himself or like to
Oh
take
yeah,
boxing classes or mixed martial arts, jujitsu, anything like that, man. Like I said, like that kind of shit, it builds your confidence, it builds your self esteem on how to like, like take care of yourself and come out of your shell, and at least you'll know how to defend yourself. And I think, like I said, I think at the very least, he's got a lot to learn about himself and the world. But you know what, dude? Like I was telling you the other day, like our parents wanted what's best for us, their parents wanted what's best for
yeah.
them, and like, they couldn't protect us all the time. We have to fucking take our lumps sometimes, bro.
Dude, I'm just getting so like it gets worse. So like we just found out that like he's like failing 3 out of 5 of his classes. Like some are like really bad. And my girlfriend wants me to step in, and I'm like, listen, I'm not, I'm not his father. Like his father needs to, he needs to address this. Like he needs to see the like fear of God in his dad, because obviously he's not scared of you. And I can scare the shit out of him, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm not his father. You know?
I mean, if it comes to that, then so be it. But I think you're right. I think there's one additional step, not because you're shirking your responsibility as a parental figure, but because I think it's the right thing to do to allow the son's father the opportunity to do something about it. And if he doesn't want to step up, if he doesn't want to do something about it, then something will get done. Better you than me. You know what I mean? But if it comes down
Yeah,
to it, like, we're not going to fail this child. You know what I mean?
absolutely. And it's just frustrating because my girl just doesn't see that he needs it to hear it from his father, and it's fucking we were like butting heads like crazy.
It's a
I'm
different
like,
dynamic, man. It's a different
yeah,
dynamic. A mother's dynamic is different from a father's, and they don't always see eye to eye. I know my ex-wife and I, we don't, but like 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 we had this conversation before, man. I'm here to be his dad, not his buddy or his friend. Like if we can have a friendship, if we can be buds on top of it, great. But I my responsibility is to raise the young man. You know what I mean? And sometimes it doesn't look pretty, sometimes it's not easy, but it's worth it. Like what's the alternative? Is to just, fail him? Like that's not an option.
dude, it's so fucking frustrating, man. I'm just like, I feel for you. That's exactly how I feel. That's how I was raised. You don't fail your child, and it's just like, for me, after seeing this and we're going through it, I'm like, I don't even think I can have a kid with this with Nicole. I just don't think like we get along really well and all that good stuff, and there's a lot of good things that she does as a mom. But like, I have a completely different ideals of like how to parent a kid,
For
and I'm
sure.
just like, it's so fucking frustrating, dude. It's like I'm like, it sucks. I hate to say it because I don't think it would be we'd be. I think there would be absolutely problems if we had a child together, and that's sad to say for me.
No,
Kind
you
of
know
come to that
what?
realization.
I've had this conversation with my peers as well, um, and I don't think it's bad to have that realization where you say to yourself, because I know I've had to have this conversation with myself. I've had to have this conversation with other people. Um, it's not about finding someone you can live with, because I have I've had people that like how you said, like we're great, we get along and all this shit, but it's not about the person you can live with, because there's plenty of those. It's the people that you can't live without, and as difficult as it is, like how you said, like, man, like it's not so much that there's something wrong with her. It's just like when you have certain standards or certain things that you can't compromise, or you feel like to yourself, like I don't want to like bend on this issue. Like, it's tough. It's tough, like how you're saying, like, man, it's not that I don't want to, but it's like this is gonna be an issue if we can't if our principles aren't aligned when it comes to something as important as how we're gonna raise a child. Like that's definitely a big part of it, man. We're not talking about like, oh, her favorite football team is different from mine, or hey, the way she vacuums. Like, no, we're talking about something very, very important. You know what I mean? So like I understand where you're coming from. Like it's not wrong for you to feel that way. Like it's difficult. It's difficult for you to be honest with yourself and say, "You know what? I don't know if this is going to be something that I can look past." So either we have to like this is almost like a blessing in disguise to say, you know what, like I'm seeing a side that I might not be okay with. Like I don't know how it's gonna affect the way I choose to move forward with this relationship, because that's pretty big, bro. That's pretty big. It's
Yeah,
it's it's like a girl saying like, hey, you know what, like I'm not cool with someone who drinks and smokes and gambles. Like, not saying that you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying it's not for me. And like maybe you
yeah,
can change, maybe you can't, but at the end of the day, like that's just something that I don't want to compromise. And like you're great. I love spending time with you. We have great dates and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, like I don't feel comfortable asking you to be someone that you're not. But as for me, like I just don't know if I'll be able to wrap my head around it. You know what I mean? Like just how a woman can say something like that, and I'm not just choosing to isolate that as an example, but like
yeah,
you have the right to say that too, and say, you know what, like like there's certain things that like I think I need that you may not be able to give me. And that's
yeah.
difficult to come to that realization, but it's important. It's important that you also have that honest conversation with yourself.
It sucks, man, because I saw that early and I just ignored it. Now it's coming to fruition.
I mean, I mean, you live and you learn, Josh. You know what I mean? Like, and no
Yeah.
one's saying that you can't enjoy your time together and shit like that. But like at the end of the day, like, yeah, it's something that if you see a future with this person, it's definitely gonna have to be addressed one way or the other, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. That's a shame, man. I'm like, it's really fucking. It just doesn't. I just can't comprehend like the rationality behind a couple of different things. It just doesn't make sense. Like like you could like see like how do I say this? Is like you like this is just such basic like understanding that like they're gonna see the light eventually, and then they don't.
Yeah, no, been there. I've been that person, and I've been in that position as well on the opposite end. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, but sometimes that's how it is, man. Sometimes you put in the effort to try to meet someone halfway, but you can't force them. You can't force them to like be someone that they're not, or expect or have unrealistic expectations of another person. You know what I mean? Like that's also, you're not doing yourself any favors. You're definitely not doing your future child or your family any favors by saying like, yeah, your dad was a crack addict and I believed in him, and you know what, aside from the red flags that he gave me, I chose to do it anyway, and here we are. Like, yeah, man, like, you know,
Yeah.
you can want the best for someone, but they gotta want it for themselves. And something like the way you parent, or the way you choose to raise a child, that's a very delicate situation. It's already hard enough. You don't want to
Oh
make it
yeah.
any harder.
Yeah. No, there's just that's yeah. There's definitely some. I don't. Oh man, that would just be terrible. I can't even like imagine. Like I think that I don't know. But the different part of it is like I think she'd be willing to let me like gain control of doing things because she's just like she kind of wants me to have it for the her son, but at the same time we don't agree on it. I'm just like, what the? I don't want to
Yeah, you
even
can't have your
move.
cake and eat it too. You can't like say like, well, the ball's in your court. Like again, like you go in the kitchen and you cook, but I'm gonna criticize what you're cooking and I'm gonna criticize what you made. Like if you got some input, lady, get in the kitchen. Like you wanna like put something on the table. You're gonna have to cook also. Like that, or don't bitch about what I'm serving in my restaurant. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I understood. Yeah, especially it's like you know like you make me go get Scout cookies and I come home with Thin Mints and you're pissed off I didn't bring the fucking lemon ones.
You could have just said bring some lemon ones. You know?
That's it. Simple as that. No, fucking. Really, what the real question is, Joshua. I need like not to get sidetracked, but Wagyu flat iron beef or beef brisket burnt ends or my famous low carb tortilla pizzas.
Listen, I think nutritionally speaking, the last option is going to be the least popular.
Oh my
We don't need to
god.
be introducing carbs as the main focal point. You want to start with protein,
Okay.
and build out from there. You want to have the pizzas on deck, like for when you can't like whip something together out of convenience. So be it. But
That's right.
but but
That's such a reality, though. It's so
yeah,
true.
yeah. But at the end of the day, you want to make the most important part is the protein. So instead of one or the other, I would say fuck the pizzas and do both of those previous options.
I'm gonna have both of them.
I mean, you can buy them and make them like on separate days or whatever, but like,
Oh, I was saying right now. That's the decision. The decision.
do you have that at your house already?
Yeah.
I think the steak, man. I think the steak. It's a Friday night. Why
Oh
not?
yeah, there it is. Why not? I like that. It's a Friday night. Why not?
Yeah, man. It's the end of the work week. Let's wind it down. Let's put a cork in it. You know.
Oh yeah, I've been putting a cork in it for a long time.
I'm sure you have, and not and not where I want to know.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah. you,
That's
you
fucking funny.
your reputation precedes you, Joshua, whether you like
Oh
to
my
admit it or
god.
not.
Fucking cork it. Guess who hit me up today?
Bashir,
The Sheik.
the Sheik. What did that motherfucker have to say?
Oh, is that a spider? Oh, nothing. I mean, I think I sent him like a random text, and he said, "Man, if you're ever in Austin, you come out and have samosas. It's Ramadan." I was like, "Oh shit, you touched my heart." I felt so bad for all this time. Now I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play hard to get.
Ramadan Julio.
You gonna text him that?
I might have to. I'm gonna do that right now as we're on the phone.
Ramadan Julio. You're the one that brought this together.
huh. There he is.
Ramadan Julio. That's fucking funny. I'm gonna get that shirt. I wonder how much.
If you show up, if you show up, if you
With a
show up to
fucking
his
muscle t-shirt.
if you show up to his place, if you show up to his place wearing a Ramadan Julio shirt, he's liable to just pass out.
Dude, fucking muscle tee, fucking Birkenstocks, walking down the Vegas Strip with my fucking large fucking beer cup in hand.
People wouldn't know what to think. That guy looks German Irish. Why is he wearing a Ramadan Julio shirt?
German Irish. Swear, yeah, German Irish. That guy looks German. He sure is. Yeah, the fucking yeah. I think that would be funny.
You'd
Oh
have
my god.
you'd have your whole dude, you'd have your whole fucking the whole strip in a tizzy.
Oh yeah, they'd be fucking tizzied out. They'd be tizzy out, brother. I'm fucking knocking these people out.
Damn it,
Fucking.
man.
I'm happy. I got the house to myself right now. I'm so fucking happy.
Sometimes it's all
Oh,
you need, Josh.
dude, it's so tough. Like every once in a while, you just need a minute to your fucking self. And
Yeah.
when you live with somebody, you can't get it. Oh fuck. You know, like you start tearing your clothes off when you get home. You just fucking your what fucking wife beater. You got your fucking skivvies on, and you're about to watch the TV. That's
I
all I
mean,
need.
Al Bundy did it best, you know?
Oh my god, how's that? How's the store?
It's doing well. We have Randy out for about a week. He's just he's in New York with his mom. She had something come up, so he went over there to check up on her and stuff like that. Everything should be fine though. But yeah, we had this manager from Killeen stop in for about 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Nina?
Nina Panini.
Oh, I love her. She's cool.
Yeah, she
She's
is
good
cool.
people.
Didn't expect. I didn't know what to expect, but once I met her, I was like, all right, okay. Not what I
She's
was.
about her money.
Yeah, it wasn't what I expected, but in a good way. Doesn't take any shit, and she's definitely, um, she's kind of like it seems like she advocates more for the employee than than the management. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, she'll tell them to get the fuck out.
Yeah, she really will. She really will.
She doesn't take it no shit. She's a tough little fucking thing.
Yeah.
She's a little Asian girl, right?
I mean, I could see that. I could see the.
Like white Asian.
I mean, I could see that in her. Yeah. I don't know if she was just like, yeah, very petite. You know, a little bit of the almond eyes. I could see it. Yeah.
That's the first one. I've never heard that before. Oh my god, you've been hanging around with fucking too many of the Knights of Columbus, bro.
Yeah, dude. Definitely. Definitely.
I can see you being part of the Knights of Columbus.
Yeah. You know what? Someone's got to do it.
I don't know. I just saw this dude. He's telling me about he does these trips, and he's like he just goes. together. I was like, that sounds kind of gay.
Well,
But I mean, it's a
$20 is $20, Josh.
Hey, Knights of Columbus keep paying that too. The rates haven't changed since '76.
Yeah.
No, but it's fun. I think Knights of Columbus used, they do a lot of good stuff, but it seems like a lot of older folks are involved in it.
Yeah, it's just a sign of the times, Josh. It's difficult to to pick that up and head in that direction. You know what I mean? It's not for everybody, man. It's not for everybody, and it's
Yeah.
you got to have a certain fortitude or gumption to really approach something as serious as religion.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah, I didn't even know they were religion. Until I ran into my customer, I was like, oh shit, 'cause I used to go all the time as a kid. They'd have like picnics and shit, cookouts. It's actually kind of cool. I had no idea. I don't think, and they all drank like crazy.
Did you ever get in the sauna with the Knights of Columbus?
No. I maybe actually probably my dad used to take me to the sauna when I was like a really little kid. And I just see all these old guys fucking walking around, fucking butt ass naked, with
Yeah.
their balls hanging down to their knees.
Yeah, they call them Arabian Nights. You know what I mean? The time that they spend in that sauna, you know it's not it's also not for everybody.
Not for everybody, but it could be for you.
It could be if you play your
You
cards
could do
right.
a night in Columbus near you.
Mm-hmm. Guys Night Out, spelled with a K.
Guys, night out.
Yeah, so you got to be careful.
Did Nina stay there for a couple of days?
Yeah, she came in on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then she was like, worst case scenario, if you need me again, you can hit me up, but those are the days that I could help out. So, so
Did she stay in a hotel?
no, 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 she came in, she drove in.
Oh shit, that's a haul.
Yeah, it is a haul.
How you like it playing?
I mean, I've known Blake since I first got to Kyle, so I'm already familiar with him. Didn't have a problem with him. He was in store today, actually.
Oh really? What do you want?
He's just obviously we're pushing. I don't know if you know this, but T-Mobile, a lot of their shit is being done through the app now. Like that's
You
just
like?
yeah, that's just like what the shit that they're on right now. So he was in store to make sure that everyone's complying with the direction that T-Mobile wants to go with the app, and that's what he was in store for.
So what's the big deal? Like, what's the incentive to get people? Yeah.
On top of like it being, hey, you can avoid upgrade fees and stuff like that. It's just, I wouldn't even say they're incentivizing it. It's just, hey, this is the direction we're going. There's going to be instances where you can't, like people paying cash or, their phone's broken and they can't use the app to get a new phone. Like we could still use the systems in store, but they're trying to streamline everything else so that the stuff that's going on in store is like plan changes and add lines and complicated transactions and all that stuff. So that's kind of the direction that they're going with it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, so they have you download. So you get a customer. Like, why are you downloading the app so they can upgrade?
Right. Like right now, T Life, like if you're upgrading, you're using T Life. We shouldn't be upgrading in store, um, like unless there's a reason, you know what I mean? But you come into the store, you say, hey, I want to upgrade my phone. All right, let's get that T Life app, bust it out. It shows you all your promotions that are available under the plan that you have right now, what you get for your phone. It's a deferred trade in.
Fuck that, dude.
but but the thing is you're still getting credit for it because the way the way it works is you assign the order or like basically customer comes in, I put them into our magenta welcome, which is the new customer welcome. You put it in magenta welcome, you send them the link. If they don't have the app, they click on the link and now you're attached to whatever goes on the app. And if they do have the app already, when they open it up, they can choose shop now because this app knows when they're in store, and anything that gets done on that, like basically, once the transaction goes through, I'm the one picking up the order. Like it shows up on my side, I pump it out, and it knows how to attach it. So I'm not losing anything on it. It's just more to streamline the process.
Is it still $5 on upgrades?
Yep.
So $5 on upgrades. And then what about like, what if you want to add a line?
I'll use my legacy system to do all that shit. The only thing we're doing through the T Life is upgrades right now. In like a month, it's gonna be everything through the app because they're working all the kinks out with everything else. But right now, the only thing that's live is the upgrades, and that's what they're trying to.
But that sucks, bro. Because like you know, like I mean, for the consumer it might be fine, right? The consumer might be winning in this, but for reps, when it comes to like fucking, like you want to have your overview, like you don't want to give the control to the customer, right? You want to be able to have your fucking overview so you can throw those lines in and tell them what the best offers are. But I don't know, maybe there's gonna be a way to finesse it. I think there will. I think there will be. But that's this. I was reading articles about this, and Verizon tried to do this shit, and they fucking quickly brought it back. They said fuck this, but it took away too much money from people, and people the fucking company's value went down because they weren't generating enough revenue for the company to make these phones. Because you walk in and it basically just turns into order taking.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, if it's me, I would prefer it to stay the way it was. Now there's like, just so many and it's not drastic, but there are like additional steps. I gotta sign you in. I gotta assign you. I gotta fucking send you a link. I gotta make sure that you can log into the app. If you can't log into the app, let's figure out why not. If you can, okay, let's weigh your options. Do you want to change your plan? Like the current plan you have right now, this is what you're doing. Oh, you do want to change your plan? Okay, well then let me pull out your account and like do all the stuff that I normally do anyway. You do it with the way things are. This is how much you get. We change your plan. This is how much this is how much more you get. Well, does it outweigh the fucking cost? Like, well, let's do the math. Your plan's gonna go up $50. Your phones are gonna cost you 23. Like, instead of fucking 40. Like, okay, well, for two phones you save $2 keeping it the way it was as opposed to coming to the new plan. And then, for three folds for sure we want to do it. Like you revert back to it. And if it makes sense for the customer, then fine, you're doing it through the systems. If they're like, nah, we're gonna keep it the way it is, okay, well then let's go back to the app and just ring out the shit. You click there whether you want the insurance, you click there what phone you want, you click there if you're turning in your phone, you click here to fucking make your payment, and then once the payment goes through, my system alerts me like, hey, their order's here, like prepare the order and pump it out, and I'm still fucking like having you know, still helping you like activate and stuff like that. So it's just like on top of what we already do, now it's like it seems like there's a little bit more. Like if the customer was already well versed with all their shit, they would already be coming in saying like, okay, this is what I want to do. Like I already know, and that's what Blake's kind of speaking to is like for the customers that he's like for like this is Blake speaking. He's like for me, I'm showing up to the store and I'm just like I already know what phone I want. I already know like that I don't want to change my plan. I just want to get my fucking phone, but I gotta wait for like the three customers that are ahead of me to get done with their shit so that I can be helped out. And I don't need you to like walk me through all this shit. I just need my phone. I just want to get my phone and do that shit. for those customers, it does benefit them to have the app and like, look, I already fucking put in the order. I shopped here at the store. Like, click here, click here. Cool. Okay, I'm ready. Now I just need my phone. All right, and then that's that. But you know, I think like those customers are the minority, to be honest with you. I mean, we're gonna find out the hard way, but I think that's the thing. Most people aren't familiar with how the app works, or do I want to change your plan? You know, yeah, like okay, we want to finesse this, we want to do this, like keep your watch on for 90 days, like, and then we're gonna turn it off, and I'm gonna put you on a smaller plan, like you'll take a hit for 3 months, but you'll end up coming out ahead over 24. Like all of that shit, all the shit that we do is the customer doesn't know that. You know what I mean? Like, so I think if you give them the rope, they're gonna hang themselves. But what I want them to do is obviously just show up, and we'll have the app ready to go if we go that route. And I'm going to show you how to navigate it. And if I can convince you to do these other things over here, well then I'll just do it from my system the way I'm familiar with now. Like once the fucking system goes live and they want us to do everything from that app, like that's gonna be where it's gonna be like, all right, so how do we do the buy one get one add line, like, or how are we gonna mix it around, or how am I gonna like sell this phone under this line and add this line and like use this fucking over here. Like that's all the fun shit that we're gonna have to like figure out once that app goes live or all that stuff. But yeah, well, yeah, that's what you were saying. But I wonder what led them to lose that money. Is it because customers found the process too difficult? So basically, they lost their workforce, a bulk of their workforce, because people didn't want to deal with it. Uh oh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Got it. I mean, yeah, we'll definitely see. We'll definitely see if again this shift that they're taking, if it ends up going in the right direction. Um, yeah, it just also seems that like when people are like even on the back end, like when I overhear phone calls, like it seems like the back end is also like, well, what about this when this happens, or what about this? Like, like, oh, it's not doing this or this isn't working. All that shit. It's like the growing pains of it. You know what I mean? I hope there's less of that and more of the just the direction of where they want to take it. That instead of like, you know what, like it's staring you in your face. This is not gonna work, or this is not like what's best. You know what I mean? I don't want them to be like, well, fuck it, we're gonna go down with the ship just because we just can't walk it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, yeah. I don't think it could go down. People go down, but they're gonna be able to shift. It might affect people's pay for a little while. Because they did that to the AT&T rep, bro. They really did. They made it hard to make money. There's still money paid, but it's at a certain amount. Is that a livable wage? Depending on who you ask. But for me, um, is that like the changes that were going on for T-Mobile probably bring back to them. As soon as I heard that they were doing, I was considering like, okay, like, how they
Yeah.
because it's better to pay somebody $27 an hour instead of fucking $40 an hour, $50 an hour, and which is still good. You know, it's good money. Like, life, life is bad. You know, it's like $27 an hour. Most of the people that fucking only make 10, but at the same time, like, profit. See fucking Zelensky and Trump fucking arguing on that shit
It was
today.
crazy, dude. I saw that. Like, oh, I opened up my Instagram on my lunch break, and I saw that on Instagram, and it was it was on the C-SPAN article, and I was like, all right, I let it play, and I thought it was gonna be like a short little clip, bro. That video that I watched was like several minutes long, and I was like, they just keep going. Like this this shit show is unfolding in front of my eyes, and I honestly can't believe it. This is fucking weird. It's fucked up.
Oh yeah, no, it is really really weird. I feel like I've never seen it. It was like an old man arguing with this guy, and then the guy was all serious. I'm like, why are they publicizing? Why is it why is it on fucking television? Like, why are they trying to fucking
Yeah,
make?
I mean, I don't think they were trying to. I think that's just how these fucking idiots are, dude. They like they just don't know any better. They can't help themselves, dude.
I know it's crazy. I just don't. I don't even. I'm a disbelief, bro. Like, I don't even know it. I don't know. I hope that this world stays quiet.
He's, he sounds like a fucking ex-wife, dude. He sounds like a fucking like an ex-girlfriend trying to like prove that like, oh no, I've moved on or I'm over you. Like, bro, who are you trying to convince, me or you? Like, they just sound so fucking like like insecure and weak. Like, you never said thank you. Like, bro, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, dude. You sound like a weak, petty bitch, and like I don't know. It's just weird how again how like again like you're trying to like stay like they just seem frazzled and emotional and like trying to like shout over like each other and like it just seemed like dude no that's not the cool calm collection that you know dignitaries are supposed to have but here we are, you know what I mean?
That was something else, dude. I'm just like, that shit scares me. I don't know what it says gonna come down to afterwards.
Yeah, JD Vance and fucking Trump are just something else, dude. It's so fucking weird. It's just weird to watch them approach shit like that. But whatever, whatever. You do your thing, man.
Yeah, we'll see what happens on. Yeah. one day at a time, bro. How are you promoting?
Yeah, yeah, they're hanging tight in there. Nothing drastically different or anything like that. Just you know,
And next up, any time, any trade in any condition, is that they still have that?
yep. It comes in clutch when you have a fucking customers trying to do this or that or like, well, listen, we could have also not taken your phone and you would have been up the fucking river and your plan would have gone up like the $40 that your phone's gonna cost. But now I pump your bill up $30 and all of you guys can like, get out ahead of it. So it comes in clutch with certain cases because again,
You
like,
don't need an add line either, right?
right, like, so worst case scenario, you got two customer come in for like a 2 or 3 line, and you're pitching them on plus, and like they're like, oh yeah, like, this phone is broken, but I want a new one. All right, well, if I bump up your plan, then you can turn it in and offset the cost of the other phone. Like you get an iPhone Pro for free because it's $1,000 credit on your phone that you normally couldn't even turn in at all because it's fucked up, and now we can. So like you end up bumping up the $10 on each of the fucking lines. So that's an extra $30, but it comes out in the ben. Everybody wins. You win as a rep because you just pushed them up on the plan, and they win because now they can turn in their phone that they couldn't before. So like it comes in and serves its purpose in that regard. But yeah, it's not a bad gig, dude.
Yeah, no, it's not bad at all. I've been working with that stuff for a little while, trying to. I mean, it's like I'm learning to finesse AT&T system a little bit. Like if you add a line, it turns into a multi-line discount. So sometimes adding a line is like 99 cents more than the line. Is fucking weird. It's okay. So I dude, today I went to this girl's house to go pick up her phone, and her boyfriend was there. And this dude's like this big fucking black dude, kind of gangbanger thing going on. I'm like, oh okay, hey, what's up? Then we started talking. He's like, oh, can I pay my bill? I'm like, absolutely, you can pay your bill. A lot of people would say, oh no, you can't pay your bill. I don't do that. Fine. I said, no, let's take a look at this because I've never really I don't do add-a-lines like that. But obviously, I don't work in the store, service. But anyway, I was looking at his plan and stuff. And I was doing the math. I was like, oh yeah, I can get you a phone, a new phone if you want. No, no, no. Here's what I told him. Because we have a group insurance, right? It's fucking.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's fun. I love it. It's the best thing ever. And he's like, oh, I got this fucked up phone. Um, is there any way you fix it? I'm like, hey, check this out, bro. Let that align your account. Wait 30 days and do a claim. He's like, bro, now you're talking about like, yeah.
Josh, Josh, my Nicole is telling me to get off the phone because it's severance time. So I'm gonna have to get off the phone.
Okay, can I finish?
Yes.
Fucking, I I give him the trade in. He does it, bro. And he's like, so we ended up going outside. I'm like, I'm like, you know what? Let's just get you a phone. Come on over here. I show the dude. I pop the trunk open. He's like, man, are you fucking kidding me? You got phones in your trunk? I'm like, look at all these fucking phones, bro. He's like, I'm gonna get a new phone right now. I'm like, yes, absolutely. It's gonna be $82. And
You're lucky he didn't fucking rob your ass.
we do. We're at their house. It's different. When you're at somebody's house, there's respect that goes along. You know where they live.
They see your ass, they're just like, I'm gonna call the boys with the pipes, and you're not gonna make it off the block.
Bro, the guy had a gun in his truck. The guy, he's like, I dapped him up on the way. Oh, sorry, bro, I have a gun. I thought it was a drop. The fuck thing, yeah, I was gonna have to sit in my car. No, I'm like, hopefully I don't fucking Bill up. But anyway, it's weird. I'm just when you add a line to AT&T, the multi-line discount kicks in, where sometimes it's the same price and it's not a free line. If that makes sense.
I guess.
What happened? It is complicated, but I mastered it. You know, I mastered people fucking do that shit in my sleep.
Now you're doing it for AT&T.
Now I'm doing it for AT&T.
You're finding all the loopholes.
Yeah, absolutely. What is separate?
It's that show on fucking Apple TV I was trying to tell you about, you stupid fuck.
Okay, what? Tell me what it is again. Is it where they go live in the fucking
We're not doing this.
stuff?
It's where they go to work and they have their memory. Like while you're at work, you have no memory of your outside life, and when you're outside of work, you have no memory of what your job life is.
That's right. That's right.
It is fucking crazy. Josh, I'm getting the fucking the 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 signal, bro. I need to.
But real quick, if he wants to tell you about how he added 2 lines today, and really they were the price of 4, like let's just you can keep it.
And now she's talking shit about like no, let's
Because we want to hear this.
we want to hear about.
T-Mobile and AT&T are closed. So the workday is done.
She's saying
And
we're
we
off
want
the
to hear
clock,
about
dude.
adding lines. That's
He's never off the clock that way.
Cocaine is mine.
You hear this? You hear this?
I wish I wasn't. There's a red button at the bottom there.
Josh,
That's so mean. I'm like, why did you get Alex?
I didn't. You did this. You did this on your own.
No, if you would just let me watch Temperance in peace, but like.
Josh.
I swear, there's a picture of my face and there's a dartboard. Right.
Yeah, it's right by our guest restroom.
Right where you see the low carb.
Yeah, you can't use the restroom unless you hit a bullseye.
It's the fucking dartboard, the low carb.
Josh, I have got to let you go. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Peace. So you're all caught up.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Is it okay if I play?
Yeah. Turn it the fuck up though.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, Alex.